back to DVC Weekly. This is episode 182. My name is Jason Erpelding. I'm the broker of Buy and Sell DVC. I'm here with Scott Ferrioli.
I'm the owner of DVC-Rental.com. Remember the dash to save the cash, and buyandsellDVC.com.
And today is July 31st, 2024. So if you own a December use year and you have any points left from 2023 that you don't plan on using, but for the end of November of this year, today is your last day to bank those points. And for those not familiar with how that works, that person with that December use year banks the points, and then they need to use them between 12/1/24 and 12/1/25. So the 11-month window from today, I guess, is June 30th. I always get this wrong on the July 31st. Is it June 30th?
I believe so, yes. It's always a tricky one. This one was...
I should have skipped over this. And the 7-month window, I guess, is February 28th. I don't know. So, but as always, remember DVC-Rental for your rental needs, DVC-Rental.com. Remember the dash to save the cash. And if you're looking to sell your points or buying a DVC, it's buy and sell DVC.com. And today on the buy and sell side of things, I'm back at Vero Beach.
Ooh.
Shocker. So this year, for the first time in, that I can remember, Orange County schools finished before Memorial Day. So we went to Vero Beach, checking in Monday, Memorial Day, checking out Friday, May 31st, 2024. It was 10 points a night for those 4 nights, 40 points for those. I mean, you can't really beat that.
It's great.
Because, you're going, it didn't rain at all. It's like the 6.9 at Hilton Head, but that's in January. School's going on and it's cold.
Yeah.
So this, you just couldn't beat it. We left early at the house. We were by the pool by 10 a.m. I just, I don't really, I may not go in order here because random thoughts come into my head. But last year
He gets very excited about Vero.
Last year we started using a, I call it like a foldable wagon. And then so like you take your stuff and you have the foldable. I don't remember anyone with foldable wagons last year. This year, there was 10 to 15 foldable wagons there. Now that is the, I'm not saying that we started this Vero Beach trend, but now that's the trend at Vero Beach. And you have families with little ones inside the wagon as well. So, but there were a lot of wagons at Vero Beach.
I'm picturing your wonderful wife pulling you down the beach in the wagon.
And let's see. We did everything. We played some cornhole, the paper airplanes, pool time, water slide races, pool games, mini golf, s'mores. I will give you the quote unquote cheat code for the s'mores. So, the s'mores are every other night at 8:30. And I believe when I say every other night, I think it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday night. Now I can't remember if it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. But they sing a bunch of songs what I'm saying is you can show up at 8:30, you can participate in the songs, you can do everything, or you can just show up at 8:50. They'll be wrapping up the songs, and you can just get right there in line if you want.
He's all about the s'mores, but not about the singing, huh?
Well, I'm just saying, it's just an option.
Trust me, nobody wants to hear me sing either.
There's those, you've been there for the singing, right, or no?
No. I'm being corrected that yes, I have. I don't recall. I'm at Hilton Head. Yeah, trying to correct me. She wrong. That was at Hilton Head. I have not at Vero Beach.
Oh, really?
Nope.
So do they do the songs at Hilton Head or no?
They do.
It's like crazy, silly songs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So like if you went away to like a sleepaway camp, like silly, fun songs. But like, I forget what it was. It was a shark song. Not like a baby shark. It was before that, but it was like a whole different shark. It was a whole shark thing.
So yeah, they do that. And then, so there is a small group of people that shows up at 8:50 at Vero Beach for the s'more. So you keep that in mind.
I got to check this out. I can't remember if the last time I got s'mores at Vero. I don't know if I've ever done it, to be honest. I think I need to check them out.
and you get unlimited s'mores there. I mean, it's probably the same at Hilton Head, but
I
it's
think so. It was a long time ago. It's a Hilton Head. It's unlimited s'mores though. I know some places at Disney property they'll give you free marshmallows, but if you want s'mores, they charge you.
oh really? I think
Well,
they started doing that at Animal Kingdom, didn't they?
Yeah. At the Walt Disney World properties, marshmallows are free, but s'mores there's a fee to get you have to buy a s'more kit from them. So Vero Beach, it is full s'mores as of now that we know of, full s'mores, no fees.
And I mean, I don't know. Sometimes there's stuff I don't know if I should say this. I don't think it's going to go blow up, but like, so there was teenagers that were requesting whole Hershey's chocolate bars,
Mhm.
and then they were given to them.
Ooh.
So, I mean, that's not really, it's kind of, probably some,
How many chocolate bars did you leave with, Jason?
I didn't have any.
Hey, they got some. I want some too.
Bingo.
Did you play billiards? Pool?
No, I didn't play. But what's funny is that's one thing where I see like on Facebook, somebody will say, I wish they had, like, some people want to do something extra with the bar using that area because they never see anyone playing pool.
Really?
But I see someone playing
my
pool there
kids always play.
all the time.
Yeah, they're always playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see someone playing pool. I like, of the three things, cornhole, pool, and shuffleboard, the one I see the most is pool.
Yes.
Playing pool.
Agreed.
Let's see. Oh, and then we started this trend where like we would mainly be at the pool during the day.
Mm.
And then of course we're going back to the room for different breaks and things like that. But then we would go to the ocean like at 3:30 or 4. And remember, of course, it's on the East Coast. So now the sun's behind you. Oh, it was perfect because you're going there and the ocean definitely was not too warm. It was actually, it's not to, I mean, use the word cold. It was cold. It was nice, refreshing. My kids loved it. We couldn't get them out. Like they'd be in the ocean for 90 straight minutes or 2 hours.
So I'm going to bring this up. You've gone to the ocean a bunch there.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone to the ocean a bunch there. Never ever an issue, right?
Right.
I'm starting to get scared of sharks. There's been so many Florida shark things in the news for the past couple months. We're supposed to be going down to Vero Beach soon, and I'm a little concerned about going in the water. There's been a lot of shark sightings in Florida, and I'm like, never really too worried about that in the past. I knew, it's always a possibility, but I'm like, there's been a lot of shark things. How do you feel about that? Are you just like, that's silly, Scott?
I mean, they would just, because again, you're not going that far out. So, I mean,
a lot of these attacks, I think, have been in like shallow water, like waist deep or less.
I mean, I guess I'd be more concerned if there was, 3 to 5 people surf fishing, because then I feel like
maybe bringing in fish and the fish attracting them.
I mean, let's say there's because you can go down to Vero. So let's say you walk down to Vero Beach and you go 60 yards to the right of the crowd,
mm-hmm.
or 60 yards to the left of the crowd. Like all of a sudden, there's no one there. There's no one now 30 to 40 feet to the left and right of you, and you have it to yourself. There's no one surf fishing. I mean, I would not be concerned with any sharks or anything.
Okay, good to know.
Let's see. Oh, and I have on here my 12-year-old. He's addicted to pin trading, so he's pin trading all the time. And then my 14-year-old, again, he just loves how everything is so we're in the inn. So you have the inn and the pool's right there and the beach is right there. Like everything is right there and the drink refills are right there. So
literally, and right by the pool, you've got the billiards and you've got ping pong and everything, and the shuffleboard and the golf is right there. And everything is so nice and compact. You're absolutely correct.
And then like we said this before, but the resort is like always at like 100% occupancy, but however it works out, it never feels like it is, because again, there's no issue with people, putting towels on the chairs, no issue with beach chairs. I mean, as far as renting beach chairs, that I don't know because we don't rent the beach chairs, but there's usually, I call them like the book club, the people that are, they've rented the chairs from Disney and they're on those chairs reading their books all day. So, and then, I mean, so I'm AB negative. I still didn't get bit the whole time I was there. My wife, I forget what her blood type is. She probably got bit, say 15 times. My 14-year-old, he didn't get bit at all. My 12-year-old, he had 2 bites that were pretty bad. But I did post it on the Vero Beach, and there are a lot of people. I mean, when I say a lot, there are more people that they don't get bit at all either. They would comment that I never get bit, but my husband gets bit or whatever. So there's
For those that don't know, these are the noceums. These are tiny, tiny little like flies that they're at Vero. They do bite you, and Jason never gets bit. I get bit somewhat. My wife gets bit a lot more than me, I guess. You joke around that she's sweeter than me, so they go for her blood. But I know Jason never gets bit. He's so lucky.
So I mean, I understand.
They're annoying.
I mean, if everyone in your family, is one of those people that attracts them and you always get bit, yeah, you're probably not going to have a good time there. I mean, that's just something that I guess you'd have to experience. But it seems like it's one of those things where it either if it happens, it's probably going to happen every time. If it doesn't happen, it's probably never going to happen. So
it's mostly at dusk and dawn as well. So it's not like it's the whole time maybe getting bit. Normally it's early in the morning or late in the evening as the sun's going down. So it's manageable. Even if you get bit, normally it's manageable. But you can bring your own sprayer. They have like a pump thing there that you could put stuff on you to try to keep them away. Some people say it works for them. Some people it doesn't.
But I mean, my family again love it. While we were there in May, we did book again to go for New Year's. That's just 2 nights. We'll be jumping in the pool at midnight again. But I mean, the drive from Orlando to the Treasure Coast. I mean, it's a breeze. I mean, it's just, and then the whole like the Vero Beach, Sebastian area. It's a very friendly area. So we had a good time. So no complaints. And
have you gone for ice cream since you've been there? We've had an ice cream shop that we went to last time, and I think we'll start doing that going forward. Just for the whole beach vibe, just stop and we'll get ice cream or something with the kids.
Saw that. I've seen it on the Facebook. I forget the name of it. Is that I don't know if that's the one you're going to.
I think there's a couple of them. I forget which one we went to. It's you leave the resort. You go over the bridge. You get to that first that's A1A, right? No, that's not. Oh, the A1A is what the hotel's on. That's not A1A. Go over the bridge away from the resort. Make your right. It's down there on the right hand side.
Okay, so it's pretty close.
Yeah, it's probably only 5 minutes from.
Oh, okay, yeah, because the other one that people mention a lot, it's like 12 minutes away. So.
Okay. I'm sure there's a bunch of them, but yeah, we went to that one last time. The guys, I think one of the owners was there as well. Just like they were like really, really nice, very laid back. It's a small community feel to it. It was nice.
Nice. And then now we're on to the food review of the week.
Come here, I'm gonna eat you! Get in my belly!
We better get going with the food review. We've spent a lot of time talking already. So for today's food review, oh no, I'm back at T-Rex again for my birthday lunch. Last time we reviewed the terrible fried shrimp that they had. We gotta see if I could do better this time. I opted for the Megasaurus burger. It's a mammoth version of the Bronto burger, served with seasoned fries, lettuce, tomato, onion, and pickles, served on the side for $24.99. Their seasoned fries barely had any seasoning on them at all. And for the upgraded, like mammoth version, it was not a large burger at all. It was just like 2 smash burgers. It was fair at best. I give it like a 6.3. The main thing is that you can pretty much just get a double like smash burger and fries at like a Culver's for like a third of the price, and it was just as good or better. And at least at Culver's, I could get the fried cheese curds as well. So 6.3, it was fair, insanely overpriced. And for a Megasaurus burger, that's supposed to be their big upgraded one, literally just 2 smash burgers that are this thick. So it was not big at all. It was kind of disappointing.
And now we're on to the rental side of things.
So on the rental side, we're going to be going long on this one. I posted in our resales group, the Disney Vacation Club Resales DVC on Facebook. For those of you who've been to Walt Disney World and been to Disneyland as well, which one do you prefer? And this is a lot further apart than I thought. Walt Disney World got a 78% and Disneyland only got 22%. When I cut this off, this was at like 150 votes. There's not as many comments as the one Jason did the other day. Well, like I think it was last week, but I took a couple of these. I'll do a couple. I won't go too long here. Candy says for a long weekend trip, California, Disneyland, longer week or so, family vacation, Disney World. Cars Land is cool, and you can see a lot of things at both parks at Disneyland in 2 to 3 days. More time is needed at Disney World to enjoy everything there is to offer. Lauren says, I love Disney World because you get more bang for your buck. 4 parks, water parks, mini golf, more theme resorts, more rides. Disneyland is the OG, but smaller. Incredicoaster is incredible. Space and Pirates are much cooler, and the weather is usually amazing in Southern California, which I do agree with. Kathy says, Walt Disney World is larger, there's more to do, and the cast members are much nicer and more attentive, which I have found as well. Disneyland does have a couple rides we love, and it's great to visit if you've never been. Stacy says they prefer Disney World. She loves the rides at Disney World. They're easier and bigger for people to ride. My son is a tall, skinny guy, and he had a hard time fitting on some of those Disneyland rides. Ron says, Walt Disney World's nicer for a longer trip. I enjoyed a few days at Disneyland a few years ago. I'd do similar again. Just spent a couple days at Disneyland Paris and thought it was nice as well and would visit there again also. Disneyland Paris got away from me, but maybe next year. Kelly says, mainly love Disney World because it's close to me. Disneyland's across the country, so it's hard to get to. Also, DVC is very hard to book there at 7 months out, which is absolutely true. And I would never be an owner there, so that makes it hard. For the prices I've heard, it's cheaper to pay a little extra for flights to go to Tokyo. So I think I would do that before going back to California. I've heard a lot of people posting that as well recently, that the price at Tokyo is inexpensive. Like the hotel's not too expensive. I think it's hard to get into, but it's not very expensive. The park tickets are inexpensive. I think only like the food is inexpensive. So some people are saying that's actually only a little bit more money to fly to Tokyo than to go to California. Last one I have, Rebecca says, we are on the East Coast and are Walt Disney World pass holders, but Disneyland is my favorite. There's a very tangible feeling of magic once you enter the gates, different than when you feel at Walt Disney World. Walt walked there, and it was the park that started it all. Disney Adventure is also my favorite park. If I could be anywhere at any given time, I would be at the Animation Courtyard in Disney California Adventure. Can't explain it, but it brings me pure joy and peace. The food quality is better. It's not an exhausting experience, and there's no humidity. That's true. This doesn't mean I don't love Disney World, but there's just something about Disneyland. So Disney World takes the win, but Disneyland does have a bunch of voters too. And I've done both Disneyland and Disney World this year. Personally, I like Disney World better. It's got a lot more stuff to do, a lot more rides, but Disneyland is very convenient. The weather is beautiful. I found a lot of the snacks at Disneyland to be better. So that very, very different options.
I mean, on the last comment, I think she touched on it. I think I would say I haven't been to California to experience Disneyland, but she mentioned like Disney World, an exhausting experience. I mean, it is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Is Disneyland close to being an exhausting experience, or
it's still pretty exhausting. It depends how much you do. There's the people who do Walt Disney World. Commando. They get there at rope drop and then they stay the whole day. And there's people who do that at Disneyland as well. And no matter where you do it, it's going to be exhausting. But the weather and the humidity is definitely better in Disneyland, so it definitely takes less out of you. And also, there's a lot less walking in Disneyland because everything. It's the first park, so Walt Disney World's a lot more spread out. Disneyland is very, very compact. So a lot of times, you can hop on a ride and jump into another queue after taking, 40 steps and then be on another ride in 50 steps. Like it's all right there. When you go to Animal Kingdom, and sometimes it feels like it's a quarter-mile walk between rides. So that everything is very, very tight in Disneyland, which is very, very helpful, and I guess will make it less exhausting. One thing, though, is that all their queues are pretty much outside. So while it's not as hot, you're sitting there outside. Where Disney World, a lot of times you hop in a queue, you're inside in air conditioning. Disneyland, you were out there exposed to the elements.
And then I should probably know this, but I don't. So don't blast me. So
I hope I know this, or else I'm gonna look bad then too.
Disneyland.
Go on.
Does it have other theme parks near it, like Walt Disney World does, like Universal, SeaWorld, Gatorland?
None of that.
Chris Malick?
None of them are that close. There's Knott's Berry Farms and there's Universal and stuff. But I think all of them are maybe like a half hour away.
Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Universal's like 20 minutes from Disney. So I mean, so there is other options there. I haven't done Knott's Berry and I haven't done Universal. I'm sure that there's other ones that are nearby that I don't know, but there are other places to go as well.
Because I mean, going back to the exhausting experience, I mean, there's people here that come here and they have teenagers and they're doing, Epcot one day, the next day they're going to SeaWorld to watch shows, the next day they're going to Universal to do all the roller coasters. I mean, they are literally going to need a vacation from their vacation.
I don't think people do that as much at Disneyland. Plus, also a lot of times, as long as you're staying close by, and a lot of it's walk. You can walk to the park, and literally, the entrance for Disneyland and California Adventure is, I don't know the exact number, 50 yards.
Oh, okay.
So they're right by each other. So at Disney World, a lot of times you'll leave your resort and you've got to hop on a bus, or you've got to hop on a monorail, and you go somewhere, and then you're jumping all over, or you're taking your car, you're hopping, you're all over the place. Disneyland is just so centralized right there. So I guess maybe there's not as much travel time as well. So probably less exhausting on that. Where after hopping on buses and at the end of the day standing there next to somebody holding onto the bus, or on the monorail where you're squeezed in like sardines, there's none of that at Disneyland.
I mean, now that we talk about it even more, I'm surprised because again, the people that were voting were supposed to have been to both.
I thought the numbers were going to be much closer.
So that is surprising. I mean,
I specifically said I didn't want just the people that have been to Disney World go, Disney World's better. I specifically said this is just for people who've been to both parks.
or someone from
What
Miami
do you
who's
prefer?
never going to go to Disneyland, because it's just right here, So
So these are all for people who've been to both parks.
That's
And
surprising.
78% said Walt Disney World. I thought Disneyland was going to get a stronger reaction than that, but
I thought it would have been like 60-40.
I thought so too. Because I know the Disneyland people, typically the people in California love Disneyland. And they're like, there's a lot more stuff to do at Walt Disney World, but it's just like, that's their love. That's Walt's park. They're attached to that. But it went a little differently than I thought. I mean,
Yes,
I thought Disney World was going to win, but I was not expecting that big of a blowout.
Let us know your thoughts on there.
Yeah.
Let us know. And come back and see us next week.
All right, I think we should wrap it up. That's it. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you all. Have a wonderful day.
How long was that one? When did that one start?
I believe 10:50.
Oh, man. 22, 27. Oh, 21. I thought it said 27.